Welcome to yet another instalment of Here Today, Storm Tomorrow from Force 13. Today's date, February the 2nd, it's Monday, and we have two storms active right now at midnight UTC. This information is as current as it can be, and as we always do at the beginning of our videos, let's first take a look at our satellite views around the world. First of all, the Eastern Pacific, not too much going on here, small system around 5 degrees north, 120 degrees west. Bad weather north of Hawaii as well, and that's extending almost as far as Oregon in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Looking in the Atlantic, there's a frontal system in the western half of the ocean. Its influence is extending to the eastern coast of Newfoundland, just offshore. And of course, over the United States, we've got blizzard warnings in effect. They have been, and winter weather warnings in effect there, have been in effect for some time in central and northern parts of continental United States. Looking at the Western Pacific, there's a small system on the eastern coast of Mindanao in the Philippines, some stormy weather going on there, and Visayas as well, that region near Samar, bad weather going on around there, but still nothing really particularly large, and small systems as well in the equatorial regions of the Western Pacific as well. Looking at the Indian Ocean, this is where all the activity still is, as has been the case for some time. Thunderstorm cluster east of Sri Lanka is also something of note. And of course, we've still got Eunice, of course, and there's a new system that's just leaving the coast of Mozambique, moving out into the Mozambique Channel. Small chance of development in the next few days that is likely to peter out somewhere over that region. Of course, Eunice heading off towards the east, is now on the eastern side of the ocean, beginning in the west, of course, and is weakening. More on that shortly. In the Australian region in the South Pacific, we do have stormy weather over the Solomon Islands and towards the north of those islands, but of course the main feature is still Cyclone Ola, which is weakening near New Caledonia. It passed those islands as a Category 2 storm yesterday. So let's take a look at those storms now. First of all, Eunice, it's gone down to 85 miles per hour as of 9 PM UTC this evening. Its air pressure 967 millibars, positions 22.1 degrees south, 82.4 degrees east. And taking a look at Ola, also going down as well, down to 80 miles per hour, weakening more quickly. Its pressure is 970 millibars, positions 21.5 degrees south, 162.4 degrees east. Looking at the forecast then, Eunice expected to curve generally towards the south and eventually probably be on a bearing of south-southeast as it turns post-tropical in around 48 hours. Weakening along that time period as well, of course. And Ola, something fairly similar, not quite, weakening quickly at this time, but it is expected to last just that little bit longer than Eunice and dissipate as a tropical depression somewhere over the Coral Sea in around 72 hours, not affecting any land areas at all. So, as I explained there, no warnings in effect as a result of either of these storms, thankfully. So the satellite imagery, here's Ola right now on my right hand side. It's losing its shape in the past few frames by the looks of things, becoming more elongated west to east. It is holding on though as a hurricane strength storm at this time. Shear is increasing to its south, which is one of the main reasons why it is on its way out, and of course the further south it goes, the less chance it has of holding on to itself, I suppose. Looking at the sea surface temperatures, around 28 degrees Celsius near Madagascar and the Mozambique Channel, that of course where that new storm is forming. It may not become a storm of course, but in the literal sense, thunderstorms there. Over Mauritius, around 28 degrees there as well. 30 around the northern coast of Australia, 28 out at sea, and around 30 degrees just north and northwest of New Caledonia, slightly less where Ola is right now. And in the equatorial West Pacific, also 30 degrees, starting to build up once more in that region. 26 to 28 in the South China Sea, rising slowly at this time. Wind shear is increasing over Ola, as I mentioned. Eunice is on the very edge of extreme amounts of shear towards its left-hand side, towards the west. On the eastern side, low amounts and decreasing. So now let's, oh yes, a quick mention of the models. The models do hint at a possible developing storm in around next week sometime in the Mozambique Channel. Of course, we can't put too much weight into those predictions because they are pretty far out, but it has been fairly consistent, at least, in predicting something like that in the next few days. We could see a new storm forming there. All eyes, I would say, would be on that region. So let's take a look, if I can get my words out properly and not rush it too much, at the On This Day feature presented by Daniel Hudson.
Hello, this is Daniel Hudson, and here's another look back at what happened on this day in the world of storms. Here at Force 13, we're building a database of what happened each day in the storm record. This contains dates of formation, dissipation, landfalls, and anything else that interests us. Currently we stand at 3,023 entries, and it's ever growing. On February 2nd, the following tropical storms formed in the South Indian Ocean: Helga in 1971, Frances in 1976, and Willie in 1984. Meanwhile, Hortense dissipated in 1973, as did Graham in 1982, Frederick in 1988, Lena in 1993, and Iggy in 2012. In the South Pacific, Mina formed in 2005, and on the same day Lola dissipated. In the Central Pacific, Hurricane Akika peaked as a Category 3 storm in 1992. In the Southern Hemisphere, Tropical Storm Amelie made landfall in Madagascar in 1977, and the next year Vern arrived in Western Australia as a Category 1 storm. In 1984, Tropical Storm Gelly made landfall in Madagascar, and 10 years later, Cyclone Geralda also landed there as a Category 3 storm, killing 304 and causing 10 million in damages. Also on this day, Cyclone Opha passed Samoa as a Category 3 storm in 1990, resulting in the loss of 7 lives and 130 million in damages. Tropical Storm Ellie made landfall in Queensland, causing a further $70 million in damages. And finally, Cyclone Yasi made landfall in Queensland as well, causing a single fatality but 3.6 million Australian dollars in damages when it struck there in 2011. That's all from me for today. Now we go back to the studio. Hope you enjoyed.
And welcome back. This is Here Today, Storm Tomorrow with myself, Nathan Foy. That was Daniel Hudson with the On This Day feature. So let's take a look now at what's going on in Predictor Season 2015. In first place right now is Anon with 28 points. This is the main competition, the classic one I suppose you could call it. In second place, Someone's Cousin with 30 points. In third place, Ivan Woodbury with 70. In fourth place is a big smiley face with 138 points. In fifth, Toy Bonnie with 170. And in sixth place, Cyclone Matthew with 172 points. Behind me you can also see a scatter chart of all the people who have predicted so far, when they predicted, and how well they're doing so far. We'll just leave that there for a moment. But in Predictor Season 2015 worldwide, this is where you predict how many storms will form in the world this year from start to finish, January to December. Of course last year finished up with 80. In first place right now is a weird equation actually, 1 plus 3 equals 2 times 5 with 14 points. I assume that's what it means and not just a random jumble of letters and numbers. In second place is Boxy the Turtle with 24 points. In third place it's Mega Cyclone 444 with 266 points. You all like the numbers in this competition. In fourth place is Force 13, that's myself, with 280 points. In fifth is Jack with 282, and in sixth place is someone who called themselves 54 with 296 points. So let's take a look now at the storm totals for this calendar day, as we usually do at this part of the show. We are up to 7 tropical storms, 4 of those Category 1 hurricanes or their equivalents around the world, 2 major storms, and now 2 Category 5 hurricanes, what we saw with Eunice in the past few days. That's 1 tropical storm behind 2014, which had 8 at this point, level with 2013 and 1992. The latter went on to become the busiest worldwide year on record with 103 tropical storms. And of course we've already got 2 Category 5 storms, which doesn't happen all that often. Indeed, once or twice we had a year which had no Category 5 storms around the world. I think I'm right in saying that, but that might just be the Western Pacific, I'm not sure. Now, I think it did happen many years ago, back in the 70s. But 2 already this year. The next season from our featured ones that we always keep showcasing, 2014, 2013, 96 and 92, none of those came close. 1992 was in second place, which reached its second Category 5 storm on July the 30th, so we are well ahead in Category 5 storms, an active, intense start to 2015. Just one comment to pick up on. Cyclone Ocean Indian TV, a friend of Force 13, says in reference to my announcement, I suppose you could say, that Cyclone Eunice was the second storm in the Southwest Indian Ocean to reach Category 5 in the same month, which has never happened before. Would like to point out that Litan and Nadia, I think it is, Peter's Category 5s, though I did check back through the archives and they only reached Category 4 intensity, and I do believe that this record is legitimate. So that is all from me for now, and I think we shall go on to our featured video, which is the 1982 Eastern Pacific hurricane season. That's all for now, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.